Been up since the crack of dawn, just trying to get paid. Been hotter than 100 suns, I can't find no shade. Just 2 more rows and I'm good to go. Yeah, I'm shutting this tractor down. Give me a half an hour for a shave and a shower, and I'll be outside your house. Might have a little dirt on my boots, but I'm taking you up.
Both by geography and history, Eldora Speedway stands at the epicenter of dirt track racing. Situated in what was once an Ohio cornfield near the Indiana state line, the half-mile clay oval lies in the very heart of the Midwest's roaring racing scene. And as host to some of the biggest events on the short track racing calendar annually, events that have attracted the top names in American racing for more than half a century, Eldora can rightly bill itself as the world's greatest dirt track. Under Tony Stewart's management, Eldora has upgraded spectator amenities, safety, and medical facilities while continuing to host signature events like the King's Royal, the Dirt Late Model Dream. In 2012, Eldora Speedway added its legacy of groundbreaking events with the Aspendental Eldora Dirt Derby, featuring the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the first race on the dirt surface in any of NASCAR's National Touring Series since 1970. Tonight, it's the Spartan Transportation Dirt Showdown, and it's next on Track Limits Network.
Right off them tonight. Got a little dirt on my boots.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the virtual Eldora Speedway Race 8 of the IROC Challenge Series season, the Spartan Transportation Dirt Derby. Let's take a look at the race details tonight. 78-degree ambient temperature, 45% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 2-mile-per-hour breeze. Track temp, yep, we measure it on the dirt too, 83 degrees Fahrenheit, 8-lap heats, 20-lap consi, and a 75-lap feature race. There's 1 set of tires available for tonight's race and no fast repairs. A little caveat to that, there are actually unlimited fast repairs. That wasn't the plan, and they're not going to allow them to use those fast repairs tonight. It's going to be kind of an honor system this evening, so we'll see how that ends up going. But either way, we're getting ready to get things underway. Qualifying about halfway complete at this point. Let's take a look at the times thus far, see where everyone is stacking up here at Eldora. Best time so far is TJ Majors, 18.175. Aaron Smith, second quick. Brian McCann, third. Brandon Mefford and Kevin McCann back in action this week. He rounds out the top 5. About 2 minutes left in the session. It does appear the majority of the drivers that are going to take a lap have done just that. So with that, we're going to take a very brief break. We're going to step aside here. We'll be back with our first heat after this. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Welcome back to Eldora Speedway. Let's take a look at our starting grid for our first heat. Heat number 1, TJ Majors on the pole. Garrett Johnston to the outside. Row 2, it'll be Lilith Peters and Adam Pettit. Row 3, Zachary Kleek and Neil Quick. Only a 6-car field. Again, we've got heat races to set the field for tonight's feature. So we got a few of these here. These almost tend to be the more fun races of the night because you got 8 laps to get it done and improve your position to start this feature race or even make this feature race. Likely only about 25 cars to be in the feature tonight. Field rolling out onto the speedway. Got 8 laps in these heat races. One more time around, we are on the 1 to go. We'll see the green when they flash by the flag stand the next time. Looks like TJ Major is going to swap lanes here and take the top side to get this one underway as his right, as the number 1 starter in this first heat. Pace car is in. We wait for Barney to wave the first green flag of the night in action. There it is. Green flag in the air. We're underway. Majors with the lead over Garrett Johnston as they work off turn 4, lap 1 in the books. He's got an advantage already. Well, let's call it a bus length and a half back to Garrett Johnston. The battle, though, for second. Johnston on the inside of the number 15, swaps lanes in front of the 49 of Pettit. On board with TJ Majors, looking back at the field. Look at that thing just hung out in the air. Get a good look at second, third, and fourth. TJ might have smacked the wall with the right rear just a bit. A little too much cushion. Gets it again. Five laps to go here in heat number 1. TJ Majors has led it from the drop of the green flag. Not looking back. He's got a second advantage back to P2. Running that high side, really hauling the mail down the short straightaways here at Eldora. Pettit still third, Lilith Peters fourth, Neil Quick, Zachary Kleek fifth and sixth. Neil Quick almost went all the way around there off of turn number 2. Pettit still struggling here, trying to get alongside Johnston. Little over rotation there, bottom of the racetrack. Same situation for Johnston, but Johnston carrying much more speed down the straightaway, just kissing that right rear on the wall. Two laps to go, heat number 1. Majors continues to lead now 2 seconds out in front. White flag for TJ Majors. He's in 1 and 2. Majors for the final time in this heat down the bottom side of the racetrack. Drifts up to the top on exit. Checkered flag. Heat number 1 winner, it's TJ Majors. Garrett Johnston will finish second. Pettit third. Lilith Peters fourth. Neil Quick fifth. Zachary Kleek gets the wall as he crosses start finish. So heat number 1 in the books. So heat number 2, starting grid, Aaron Smith, Evan Janik, the front row. Shane Haas will start in row 2 with Vincent Short to his outside. And then it's Kyle White and Peter Ruzick. Yeah, we'll take a look at the format again here. We didn't really talk too much about this, but obviously heat races, Consi race, and then the feature race roughly about 20 after 10. I'm kind of expecting that to happen much sooner than 20 after 10. So don't wait to come back. Don't skip these heat races. Like I said, they tend to be kind of fun as well. Pace car should head to the pits this time by. We'll catch the green flag here in just a moment. Looks like Peter Ruzick will not take the green as he's still in pit lane, but the green is in the air, and we are underway for heat number 2. Aaron Smith with the lead into turn number 3. Evan Janik hot on his trail, headed down into turn number 3. Very different lines for these two drivers. Aaron Smith works the bottom side, now up the top. Janik will stay up top, trying to work that TJ Majors lane, and he made it work quite well in heat number 1. You also got to keep in mind here, it's a dirt track. It changes considerably faster than what you see happening on the asphalt tracks. That temperature makes a difference. The asphalt doesn't have as much moisture in it by comparison to dirt. That dirt will evaporate off that moisture and change the handling characteristics quite a bit. So these guys are going to have to chase that, find different lines all the way around the racetrack all night long. And Aaron Smith really hangs that thing out into turns 3 and 4. 5 to go in heat number 2. It's Aaron Smith and Evan Janik, the top 2. Shane Haas running in the 3rd spot. Vincent Short running in 4th. Vincent Short, certainly familiar riding on dirt, having some trouble there up in the fence, but back in the day, just a couple of years ago, during the COVID era, Short used to put on the Cash Clash. Bit of a money race on dirt, could be any type of race car. A lot of times they change it up each time. A lot of fun back in those days. This is the battle for the 4th spot. Short has it. 3 laps to go. Aaron Smith still leads Evan Janik. Smith now with almost a 3-second advantage. He's gotten hooked up here. He's got this track figured out. 2 to go. Looking sharp. 1 to go for Aaron Smith. Oh, went over, rotated it, gets close. He's pushing hard with a 4-second advantage. You don't need to go that strong, Aaron. Takes the win here in heat number 2. Boy, oh boy, I thought the 70 was going around in those last 2 corners of this heat race, but he stuck it. That's it. It'll be Smith, Janik, Haas, Short, and White, your top 5. Ruzick will get 6th, as he did not take the green here in this heat. So let's look at our grid here for heat number 3. Brian McCann will start P1. James Pileski will start 2nd. 3rd, Christian Strader. Kyle Pendergraft will roll off in the 4th spot. Keep an eye on the 14. Josh Mears will start 5th. Mike Koch, the 00, will start 6th. Again, 2 laps behind the pace truck here before we get underway. We do have a full 6-car field for heat number 3. Pace truck heads to that narrow pit entry. Green flag in the air. Field comes up to speed. McCann with the lead down the backstretch into turn 3, but Pileski is there. A 3-wide battle for the top spot. Top, middle, and bottom. Lots of room. Real wide corners here, but the momentum gives McCann the pace down the front stretch. I'm losing it, guys. Brian McCann continues the lead. Now a half second closes into less than 4/10 over James Pileski. They come up to speed, but yes, top lane really has come in. These drivers, at least at the front of the field, the fine line you got to walk, though, is to keep that right rear from making contact with the wall. It's great if the car can stay hung out in yaw. And by yaw, for you newcomers out there, that's when that car is sliding sideways through the corner, showing the right rear of the car to everybody that's in front. 5 to go. McCann still leads over Pileski. Pileski seemed to have some pace for McCann there early in the first lap or 2, but it's fallen off a bit. Just a second the advantage now for Brian McCann. Further back, Christian Strader in 3rd. Kyle Pendergraft running in the 4th spot. Josh Mears 5th. Mike Koch rounding out the field with 4 to go. I think I know how I did that. I was thinking Vincent Short and Brian McCann, and somehow I came up with Vince McMahon. I don't know. Little touch of the tism, I guess. 3 laps to go for Brian McCann. 1.4 back now to James Pileski. Field pretty well separated at this point. Brian out of turn number 4. Coming to the white flag. Final lap, heat number 3. McCann down the back straightaway for the last time. And out of turn 4, Brian McCann will take heat number 3. Jim Pileski will finish 2nd. Christian Strader 3rd. Kyle Pendergraft across the stripe in 4th. Then Josh Mears. And Mike Koch, don't know if he looped it here on the final lap. Here he comes out of turn number 4. Barney still waving that flag with everything he's got. That'll do it for heat number 3. So heat number 4, this will be a 5-car heat, so let's get a look here at those 5 drivers. Brandon Mefford from Charity Motorsports will roll off first. Josh Funkhauser to his outside. Then it's Todd Kleek and Nuke Quick. Matt Kopp will round out the field. One to go given to the driver of the pace truck here. Next time by, will be racing. Pace truck heads to the pits.
Green flag.
Coming to green. Mefford on the gas. Brandon Mefford will head down into turn 1. Battle on for the second spot. Todd Kleek, Josh Funkhauser. Kleek in the 45. The green machine to the bottom of the racetrack. Already starting his turn in midway down the back straightaway, but he's going for the race lead here. Had second, no problem, but now he's alongside Mefford. Real loose out of turn 4. A little too much turn in for the 45. Keep the hammer down, though. He's stuck in there with the 81 of Funkhauser. Doesn't have enough. Funkhauser gets the spot back. Kleek went from battling for the lead to losing the second spot, but now fighting back with the 81. 6 laps to go. Mefford still leads. Funkhauser second. Todd Kleek running third. Newt Quick a little further back in the 4th spot. And Matt Kopp still tail end of the field at number 22. Undoubtedly some drivers here with some dirt experience, and undoubtedly some without. 5 to go. Mefford, Funkhauser. 1-2. Mefford gets the wall pretty significantly there in the middle of turn 2. Still with the race lead. We'll go on board with the 83. Coming to 2 laps to go. Mefford in command. It seems that once you get out front, you kind of pick and choose where you want to be. Haven't seen anybody lose the lead yet in any of these heats. Once you get out front, it's pretty decent easily to stay there. Battle for second. Kleek was there for a moment, but no longer. A couple car lengths off the back bumper of Funkhauser. Coming to the white flag, final lap. Mefford off turn number 4. He'll pick up the win handily. Second place, Josh Funkhauser. Todd Kleek third. Here comes Newt Quick. He'll take the 4th spot. In 5th, we'll go to Matt Kopp. So that'll do it for our heats, with one exception. Oh. One more heat. Just kidding. The reduced field size, I thought that was the last one, but we've got another. So let's take a look at our starting grid for heat number 5. Kevin McCann will start from P1. Brent Butler to his right elbow. Series admin Chris Wally will start 3rd. Matt Mormond will start 4th. And Philip Chartier will start in the 5th spot. We got Shane Haas in the Track Limits Network chat. Shane says, hey man, always glad to have you broadcasting again. Missed you last week. Shane, thanks for checking in. I kind of like these heat race style races because some of the drivers get a chance to jump out of the race car while we're calling some of the action, and they can come in and say hello in the chat. So Shane, thanks for doing that. Encourage your brethren to do the same. Don't forget, folks, after the heats do come to their conclusion, 20-lap consolation race will coming up right after, and then a 75-lap feature race. Race truck heads to pit lane.
Ready, green flag.
Green back in the air. Kevin McCann jumps to the lead down the back straightaway. Brent Butler right there in tow. Can he hang with the 33? For now, the top 3 awful close together. Lap 1 in the books. McCann leads it. Ooh, close action there as Wally slides up the racetrack. He's going to get the wall there. He'll lose a spot, might lose another here in a moment. Wally was running third. Wonder if Wally's got some damage. Right front just doesn't want to dig in. He is off the pace. Looks like he is going to call it a heat, or is he going to try and finish this thing off? In fact, no, he's got some damage. He's got to come to pit lane and get that fixed. Got the old dreaded meatball, so that'll do it for Chris Wally. It leaves 4 drivers out of the racetrack with 4 laps to go. Take a quick look at it here. Chris Wally just a moment ago. Nope, we don't have a replay. I thought we did, but we do not. 3 laps remain here at Eldora in heat number 5. And Brian McCann, as has been the story here tonight in all of these heats, the pole sitter gets out front and just runs away. Final lap, heat number 5. McCann got this one well in hand. Just going to negotiate a couple more corners, and he'll have a victory here in this heat. And there it is. Checkered flag waves. Brian McCann first. Brent Butler second. Matt Mormon will come across in third. Phil Chartier will be the last driver to cross the line. Chris Wally, DNF. Update from the pits. Chris Wally having a software issue, I guess you could say. Screen froze on him mid-corner, and up the racetrack he went. So it looks like we have another heat race, so this will be heat number 6. Strong field here tonight. So without further ado, the starting grid. Tim Schofield will start first with Casey Bentz to the outside, row 2 Chris Mefford and Chuck Sweeting. And last, number 96 from Fast Living Motorsports, it's Andrew Allen. Field rolls down into turns 3 and 4. Only a 4-car heat as Andrew Allen has opted not to take the green here tonight. Base truck comes to the pit lane, and we'll be underway right now. Green flag in the air. 8-lap heat, likely our final heat of the evening before the consi. Casey Bentz way up the racetrack. Bentz leads lap number 1. First time we've seen the second place machine jump out front here. Casey started second. Is now in the race lead, but here comes Timmy Schofield. Had a position for a moment there, but now he runs in the tire tracks of the 27. Six to go, heat number 6. Top 2, Bentz in the 27. Tim Schofield in the 12. Meanwhile, behind him, Sweeting gets the wall, gets the position to Chris Mefford. Schofield's got a little something here for Casey Bentz. This might be the best challenge we've seen for the top spot tonight. Less than 5 laps to go. Bentz dropping the right rear in the cushion off of turn number 2. Now again in 3 and 4, trying to utilize that top lane. But as we said, this track will continue to change all night long. So what worked in heat number 1 may not necessarily work in heat number 6. So far, though, Bentz is making it happen, but not able to really run away from Schofield for the time being. 2 to 3/10 the advantage for the 27 over Tim Schofield. Battle on now for the third spot. Mefford and Chuck Sweeting still going at it. Mefford's got the third spot. Sweeting was there. Whitey got the wall again with the right rear. Certainly not as hard as previously. Coming to 2 laps to go, and Casey Bentz gets the wall in the middle of 3 and 4. Opens the door for Schofield. 2 laps to go. Can he hang on for 2 more? No, he gets the wall again. It may give an opportunity here for the 12 of Schofield to take this heat win. Slipping and sliding out of turn number 2. Mud a-flying. Coming to the white flag. Final lap. Schofield gives up the spot just a bit here as Bentz goes to the top side again. Slipping and sliding again now through turn number 2. Down the backstretch for the final time. Bentz got it back. As long as he has a clean couple corners, he may have this one locked up. Coming out of turn 4, side by side. Schofield gave it all he had, but didn't have the run. Bentz will win the heat. A 27 car, every time I see it, I just think it should say Maxwell House on the side of it. Call me an old guy, but if you know, you know. So that'll do it for this heat. In fact, let's look at those results real quick. Of course, Casey Bentz took it. I'm sorry, that wasn't the right heat. There we go. Casey Bentz with the win. Schofield second. Mefford was third. Chuck Sweeting fourth. Andrew Allen credited with last. And now the starting grid for our consolation race. On the pole, in the 1, it's Lilith Peters. Outside pole from Track Bar Motorsports, it'll be Vincent Short. Starting in the second row, Kyle Pendergraph and Newt Quick. Row 3, Phil Chartier and Chuck Sweeting. Row 4, it'll be Neil Quick and Kyle White. Row 5, Joshua Mears and Matt Kopp. Starting in the 11th position, it'll be Chris Wally. 12th will be Andrew Allen. 13th, Zachary Kleek. Peter Ruzick, 14th, and Mike Koch will start the 0-0 shotgun on the field. A couple drivers not taking the green. It appears Andrew Allen and Peter Ruzick will not start tonight, so they will not be in the feature race. So a 13-car field here in the Consi. 20 laps the race distance.
Green.
Green flag in the air. Peters slipping and sliding at the start. Peters has the lead down the backstretch. Vincent Short in the second position. Kyle Pendergraph charging up, though, gets alongside as Short in the middle of 3 and 4. Has to lift to keep off the door. Peters out to an 0.8 of a second advantage now over Vincent Short and Kyle Pendergraph. Pendergraph third. Fourth is Newt Quick. Brother Neil Quick running in the fifth spot as they change positions. Contact now with Pendergraph and Short as they get into the 3 and 4. Pendergraph slides back now to the fifth spot as the 75 of Chuck Sweeting runs up in front, but closing the door not fast enough. Sweeting leaves it open for Pendergraph to get back to the outside. Peters continues to lead. Now Neil Quick up to the second spot. Battling with Vincent Short. Short pounds the wall off at turn 4. Crazy action here at Eldora already. More contact. Sweeting gets into Pendergraph and around he goes, but more contact. Straightens out the 14. Caution comes out.
Any feeling about the car at all?
So our first yellow flag of the evening here in the Consi with contact with Chuck Sweeting and Kyle Pendergraph. We'll watch it again here just a moment ago. Sweeting on the gas and goes up the racetrack while Pendergraph over-rotates a bit. They kind of meet in the middle and then they catch that inside wall. Under caution for the first time here tonight. Looks like at least for the Consi, the caution laps do count. Lights on the pace truck have been extinguished. We'll go green the next time by.
Ready, green, green, green.
Green back in the air. Peters slipping and sliding again here as she comes up to speed, but hasn't gathered up. Down into one. Neil Quick, though, right there. Just inches off of that outside wall into turn number 3. Peters locks down the low lane there on the exit. Neil Quick still rides in behind. Chris Wally up to the 3rd spot. A big recovery for the 51 after a problem in his heat race. Now Neil Quick goes to the inside trying to pull the slide job out of turn 4. He's got it. No, he wasn't clear. They make contact at start-finish. Peters goes back to the bottom. Quick throttles back up. Now working to the outside here. 11 laps to go. Gonna see a battle here. Peters switched lanes right down on the flat of the racetrack, trying to find some grip down there. Neil Quick now with the race lead, goes around clean. Peters now relegated to 2nd, Chris Wally 3rd. Vincent Short hanging on to the 4th spot. Short trying to hold off the 11 of Zachary Cleek. A couple of car lengths back here. Now 7 laps to go. Neil Quick continues to lead, now stretching his advantage over Lilith Peters to 1 second. Reeling in some lap traffic now as Phil Chartier on the low side of the track in the number 13. Peters running 2nd. Chris Wally up to 3rd. Short still in the 4th position. Not sure how many drivers are going to transfer out of this, but we didn't have everybody show up. We thought we'd have at least 2 out of the Consi, but it may be 3 or 4.
Caution's out.
Yellow flag on the
But you had a couple
speedway.
laps by yourself there. How'd it feel?
Phil Chartier with a moment on the racetrack. Let's take a look at it. Is he just trying to get to pit lane here? Hard to say. Slid it through and locked her up. Around she went. Brought us under the yellow flag for the 2nd time in this Consi. So with 4 laps to go, I don't know if they're going to throw a quickie yellow here. Quick's got to get slowed down here. Let the pace truck get caught up. Now, I don't know if it's transferring over in the broadcast, but those of you newcomers here, if you hear that popcorn sound in the background, it sounds like somebody's making popcorn or frying up garlic in the pan. It's not garlic or popcorn. It's just the dirt hitting the fender wells of these race cars. So we're coming to 2 to go. We'll see if we get a green-white checkered out of this. Now it's 2 to go. Yeah, there it is. So we will get a green-white checkered for the Consi. I'm not sure if we'll do multiple attempts or just one, but either way, we're going to give it a go. Lined up for the restart here, coming to the line.
Green flag, green flag,
Back in
green
the
flag.
air. 2 laps to go in the Consi. Chris Wally trying to hang on to the 3rd spot. Quick out in front, car length between him and Lilith Peters. Wally now in the middle of the sandwich here, coming to the white flag. Cleek got around, but Wally's got the high side. He'll have to power around and carry that momentum. He needs a couple of perfect corners to hang on to that 3rd position. Up the racetrack behind him goes Josh Mears, and Vincent Short pounds the wall. Checkered flag is waving. We'll watch this come into the stripe. Quick wins it, but at the line, Chris Wally, I think, edged out Todd Cleek by just 0.09 of a second. Tell you, if they're only taking 3, that was close. So Neil Quick with the win in the Consi. So taking a look at the race results here for our consolation race here. Neil Quick picks up the win. Lilith Peters second. Chris Wally, Zach Cleek, Kyle White, Josh Mears, Mike Koch, Kyle Pendergraph, Nuke Quick, Chuck Sweeting, Vincent Short, Phil Chartier, Matt Kopp, Andrew Allen, Peter Ruzick. So it's time. We got a warm-up coming, so we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
How much signal I need to cut across 8 lane? None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody
Back at Eldora Speedway, the feature is next. Let's take a look here at our starting grid. On the pole position, it'll be the 6 of TJ Majors, flanked by the 70 of Aaron Smith. Row number 2, it'll be Brian McCann and Brandon Mefford. Row 3, Kevin McCann and Casey Benz. Row 4, Garrett Johnston and Evan Janik. Row 5 belongs to James Pileski and Josh Funkhauser. Starting 11th will be Brent Butler, last week's winner at Pocono. Timmy Schofield will start from the 12th spot. 13th starter, it's the 49 of Adam Pettit. Shane Haas will start 14th. 15th will be Christian Strader. Todd Cleek starts 16th. Matt Moorman 17th. Chris Mefford 18th. 19th starter will be Neil Quick, winner of our Consi. Lilith Peters will start 20th. Chris Wally made the field in 21st. Zachary Cleek made it as well. He'll be 22nd. Kyle White 23rd. Josh Mears 24th. Mike Koch, 25th. Kyle Pendergraft, 26th. And 27th shotgun on the field. It's Newt Quick. In 75 laps, the distance here tonight. We've got one set of tires to work with, a full load of fuel on board. I can't imagine fuel is going to be of any concern for anybody here tonight. No fast repairs to use. However, they do accidentally have unlimited fast repairs, kind of giving everybody the honor system tonight to not use them. TJ Majors and Aaron Smith going to lead them to green here as the pace truck makes the left turn down into the pits. Barty with the green, ready to wave it. And we're racing from Eldora. Majors leads it, but not by much. The two side by side in tandem. They look like fighter jets rolling through turns 1 and 2, but Majors with the advantage on exit. TJ Majors out in front here, coming across the line. Aaron Smith in tow, half a car length out of the back bumper, down through turns 1 and 2. Majors now to the inside as Aaron Smith jumps top side of the racetrack, but TJ's going to slide up in front, crossover from the 70. They're going to be side by side out of 4 at the line. I think Smith may have led the lap. He's got the pace now, but Majors going to try and fight it off on the outside. Slipping and sliding, the 70 tucks back in behind the 6 into turns 3 and 4. Aaron's got pace. He's just got to find a way to get clear of that number 6 machine that daunts him right now. Let's go on board. Driver's eye camera. We haven't played with this at all tonight. Look at all that dirt flying. Smith back to the bottom of the racetrack looking for grip. On the outside, though, that momentum really comes on strong, and it sends the 6 to the lead there right at the stripe. We're going to see a lot of this tonight if these two continue to battle. Meanwhile, Brian McCann starting to run these two down. I got to be honest, I'm not at all surprised to see these three here at the front of the field already. Brian McCann, Aaron Smith, TJ Majors, they're running top 3. That's right in the positions that they started. Kevin McCann now up into the 4 spot. He's up a position. Garrett Johnston 5th. He's up 2. Out front, Aaron Smith still hounding the 6 of TJ Majors. I don't know, it looks like Aaron might just be a tick faster than TJ right now. If he were able to get around him, might be able to put some distance, but easier said than done. TJ continues to lead here at the end of lap 11. Lap traffic already coming into play here. It's like Kyle Pendergraph. It's already a lap down. On board with TJ Majors. Leaders make short work of Kyle Pendergraph as he's down at the bottom of the racetrack, giving the leaders plenty of room. But this top 3 battle is still intense. 15 laps in and side by side for the lead into turn number 3. Aaron Smith, bottom of the racetrack as they work into lap traffic. This is where things get problematic. You've got slower cars. Now you got to kind of pick and choose. How do you get around them? You got to find the right lane that's not only fast, but that's not occupied. Majors does a good job negotiating through, getting around the 4, now coming up to the 00 machine of Mike Koch. 17 laps in. Mike Koch gives the leaders the room down the straightaway. They continue to fight down into turns 1 and 2. Majors, Smith, and Brian McCann, 1, 2, 3. Kevin McCann in the 4th spot. About a half a straightaway back. Now the 36 machine of Josh Mears. Up into the wall, keeps it up there, drivers avoid. I think it might have caught TJ off guard. A little too much rotation into turn 3. That's going to open the door for Aaron Smith to take the top spot. But no, a big run down the straightaway into turns 1 and 2. Majors on the throttle, getting that car to rotate. They're side by side for the lead off at 2. TJ hangs on to it. Who would have thought this guy was good on dirt? Top 3 drivers really putting on a clinic here. 22 laps go up on the board. Further back through here, Kevin McCann running in the 4th position. Garrett Johnston in 5th. Johnston about 5, 6, 7 car lengths back from the 33. Lap cars in the mix. James Pileski up 3 positions in the 6th spot. But I want to give a call here. It's further back through, but Zachary Cleek running 13th. He is up 9 spots in 23 laps. On board with Brian McCann now as he runs 3rd behind Aaron Smith and TJ Majors. Further back through the pack you are, the more dirt you get in your face. One-third distance here at Eldora. Laps ticking by. Majors continues to lead. These guys just won't quit. They're racing every lap like it's the last. Oh, contact. Mormon up into the wall. Nose falling off that machine. Mormon out there starting to look like a dirt modified. That's going to become a problem. Meanwhile, Aaron Smith out in the lead. He finally got it through as Majors is in the wall. May lose the 2nd spot here in a moment to Brian McCann. And in case you missed it, here's the pass for the lead just a moment ago. Aaron Smith drops it down to the racetrack, and that was the contact that we saw to the corner of our eye. TJ Majors getting into the 60 of Matt Mormon, and that's all she wrote. The one simple mistake that Aaron Smith needed to take the lead away. Now let's see if Aaron can work through the traffic. He's already got an advantage of 4/10 back to the 6th. Smith, a little bit of contact with the wall. It's okay. He straightens it back out. Back on the gas. TJ trying to recover, but slowly but surely losing time. Aaron Smith way loose down the bottom of the racetrack. He is not bashful about whipping the rear end of that thing around. It's a dust bowl here in Eldora. "35 laps complete now here at Eldora Speedway. Aaron Smith enjoying his lead now, but he's got work to do as the race leader. They're definitely in lap traffic now. He's got to pick and choose the right way, the right lane, the right line. while maintaining that pace. If you look closely there, especially if you can see it out of turns 3 and 4, that top line really starting to dry out. That's going to get real slippery. I'm not seeing a lot of the track really rubber in. Yes, this dirt will take rubber. You see it a little bit there in the top. But look at that exit here. It's really dry right there. TJ tries to go in for the lead contact, tried to use some lap traffic as a pick. Majors takes over the top spot now, and Myers, Aaron Smith back there in contact with the 6. He'll shoot him up the racetrack. He'll hang on to it, and around goes Aaron Smith. We stay green.
Roger, man.
Yeah, there it is.
I didn't hear nothing.
I gotta be honest, I talk a lot of trash on dirt racing, but this one's been pretty fun to watch. Well, first caution of the night. Didn't expect it to come from the 70. Maybe it didn't. I think it might have been Josh Mears. See if we can find a replay of the 36 going around. No, caution was already out there. Who knows? A couple of drivers opting for pit lane. Lilith Peters, Chris Mefford. Peters still on the lead lap, however. Doug Wysocki in the chat says, quote, "Lap traffic is pitiful." It's making it fun to watch, Doug. It's making it fun.
Not going. 1 to go.
So they waved off the restart. We're going to go one more lap, try to get everybody lined up. So lights are off on the pace truck. We get the restart here, lap 42.
Green flag.
Green is in the air. So Majors back to the lead here. See if he can hold off Aaron Smith. Now back to the 4th spot. Johnston on the charge. Tried to slide it up in front of the 3, but didn't have room to do it. Loses a ton of speed and track position off of turn number 4. He'll slot back into the 4th position. Major still out front. McCann in the 2nd spot. Aaron Smith pressuring. Laps in now. Major is still out in front. He led the better portion of the first of this race, but the caution is out
Give
again.
Some fuel whenever you can, but doing a really good job. Tell me about your race car when you can.
Well, let's see what happened here. Put us under the yellow again tonight. Chris Wally in the 51, Todd Kleek in the 45. Oh, Todd Kleek over-rotates, gets in front of the 76 of Butler. And there you have it. And Doug chimes in again. Great broadcast as usual, buddy. Thanks, Doug. I miss you out here, man. Those that don't know, Doug was an IROC driver. I'd say he still is an IROC driver. He's just not driving tonight. Looks like Neil Quick's going to try and get a pit lane out of here. It's far enough down the field. Only a couple of cars on the lead lap behind him. It's 18 to be exact. Or is he just topping off fuel? Looks like that was just a fuel stop for Neil Quick. I don't think that's because he needed the fuel as far as making it to the end, but as you burn the fuel off of these race cars, it does change the weight balance on them, so maybe wants a little bit more weight in the rear of the race car. It's not an open setup series, so really the only way to make an adjustment as far as weight distribution is concerned is to either add fuel or not.
We're going next time. We're going next time.
So they waved off the restart again here. We're going to go one more lap. So we'll get the restart here at lap 50. Pace truck comes to pit lane. Barney with the green in hand, and TJ Majors wastes no time at all. Oh, big hit for Aaron Smith. Johnston now slides into the bottom of the racetrack, going for the race lead, but again, the momentum will carry Majors back around. Johnston will have to battle with Aaron Smith now for the second spot. Garrett back to the low side of the track, sticks his nose out in the race lead for just a second, but again, that momentum paying off for the six. Ryan McCann into the frame now, further back, James Pileski into the mix as well. To the 93. Kevin McCann in the dark blue number 33. Two laps to go here from Eldora. It's been a battle of at least these two drivers. You can throw Brian McCann into the mix as well. They started 1-2-3. They run 1-2-3. Seen a brief change of the lead with Aaron Smith taking it due to some lap traffic and some contact with another driver from TJ Majors, but kind of the same thing happened with Aaron Smith and how he lost the lead. Since the restarts, though, TJ's maintained the top spot. Now puts a little bit of a distance back to the 70. $20 laps to go. Slow car down the bottom of the racetrack. It looks like Mike Koch in the 00. Now Majors gets the wall a bit, throwing sparks back at Aaron Smith. Last lap for Majors in 18:53. Aaron Smith in 18:45. It's kind of what we saw in the first half of this race. Aaron seemed to have the pace, but it's one thing to catch somebody, it's another to get around them. We did see that, though, as once Aaron was able to clear the six earlier on in the race, he was able to stretch that lead out. It wasn't until lap traffic came into play that it became an issue again. But will there be enough laps left for this to pay off? There's some lap traffic in the mix already here. With less than 17 laps to go, how deep into traffic will they get? Aaron Smith right there to the back bumper off of turn number 2. Brian McCann trying to keep pace, but falling back a couple car lengths now off the 70 of Aaron Smith. 15 laps to go for Majors. Can he hold on? I don't know. Majors trying to hold him off. Aaron Smith, the bottom of the racetrack, slides up, and he won't have the run. Little bit of contact. Almost goes around. Aaron Smith trying to save it. Will he go around? Brian McCann now alongside, so Aaron's going to have to fight him off, and he's lost a spot. Little tiny bit of contact with a lot of wheel into it. The 70 almost goes around, has to save it, has to pedal it, and it gives Brian McCann the second position. Can Brian run down TJ Majors? As of now, this is music to the ears of TJ Majors to hear that Aaron Smith has a problem, or had a problem now, and there's a car between the two of them with 13 laps to go. Anything can happen. We saw it just happen now there with Aaron Smith and TJ Majors. There's still plenty of lap traffic to work their way through. Coming to 11 laps to go. Brian McCann, you can watch him. He does this at a lot of racetracks. It doesn't just have to be dirt. He's always trying to find the right line. Whatever's faster, the caution is out. Majors gets into the back of Cleek.
Up in the drink there, buddy.
Todd Cleek having a moment in turns 1 and 2. Majors couldn't get it turned down enough. Scraped the right side on the 45. Let's get a look here. Here's the 45 just a moment ago. Oh, just turns in way too early and just hooks it up the racetrack. And here comes TJ Majors. Not too bad of a hit. As long as Majors didn't get him with the right front tire and it was just the door, he should be okay here. But this sets up a restart now. It's 10 laps to go. It'll be Majors and McCann on the front row, but this gives Aaron Smith the chance to cool his tires and reset a bit. As they run right now, it's Majors with the lead. Brian McCann, Aaron Smith, Garrett Johnston, Kevin McCann, the top 5. James Pileski, 6th. Tim Schofield, 7th. Funkhauser, 8th. Brandon Mefford, 9th. Casey Benson, 10th. Neil Quick runs 11th. Lilith Peters, 12th. Christian Strader, 13th. Adam Pettit, 14th. There's a little switch there. Kyle White, 15th. And Zachary Cleek shown 16th. And I believe Chris Wally, last car in the lead lap, in 17th, though he is in the pit lane, so I'm not sure if he'll stay on that lead lap. Will we see some pit stops here? Nope. I'm wondering here if that was just an attempt by those drivers to try and get in some cooler dirt, drop those tire temperatures a bit.
Hold the 1 to go, no go.
Gonna hold it off here, gonna one more lap. Again, small racetrack, got to get everybody where they need to be before we throw the green flag. I love that this series will do that when necessary. So here we go. Will this be the final restart? Coming to 6 laps to go. Pace truck is in.
Ready, green
And
flag.
TJ hammers the gas. jumps up into the second spot. It'll move Brian McCann to third, Aaron Smith to fourth, and here comes Kevin McCann. 5 laps to go. Trying to keep this gap at least back to the 3 of Brian McCann. He's got a bit of a buffer there with Garrett Johnston in the second spot. Brian McCann third, Aaron Smith in the 4th position. Jim Pileski up to P5, and he gets contact from the 33 of Kevin McCann. Straightens it out miraculously. We got one driver backwards on the backstretch. He'll straighten it out. We stay green. 3 laps to go. Zachary Cleek getting turned around. He has righted the ship and continues on. And we got another trouble here in turn 2. Stack up in the bottom of the racetrack. Do we stay green still? 2 laps to go. Majors wants to see that white flag. Driver number 6 in the 3 and 4 gets the turn 3 wall just a little bit as the white flag waves. Final lap from Eldora Speedway. One more time around for the number 6. Can he hold off Garrett Johnston? Aaron Smith, his chances likely out the window as he runs 4th behind Brian McCann, and he gets the wall. Turn 4 for the final time. TJ Majors, the Dirt King. Never thought I'd say that. He wins it in Eldora. TJ Majors picking up the win in the Spartan Transportation Dirt Shootout. Got her done. Garrett Johnston finishes 2nd. Brian McCann will come home 3rd. Aaron Smith, hate to say a disappointing 4th, but for him, he had a shot at this thing and it just didn't pan out. Kevin McCann will round out the top 5. Majors is going to take an extra lap here, make sure he makes the weight. TJ's going to drive it up into victory lane, up the ramp, park it where it belongs. Went too far. There we go. Where's the fireworks when you need it? So that'll do it here from Eldora. We're going to step aside. We'll get our top 3 finishers into the booth here after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Eldora Speedway, race number 8 in the books, the Spartan Transportation Dirt Showdown, and TJ Majors, in thrilling fashion, picks up the race win here tonight. Let's get a word with the driver of the number 6 and see what his thoughts are on tonight's race. TJ, it's Steve with Track Limits Network. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
TJ, congratulations, man. I know you're a short track guy, but I never really pegged you as a dirt track guy. You were lights out fast here tonight. You had some competition to contend with Aaron Smith and even Brian McCann waiting in the wings, but walk us through this race. What makes you quick around here, and where did you pick up that skill set?
Probably wasn't even the fastest tonight. I was just trying to save my tires and take care of it a little bit and not get caught up in wrecks, because I knew that was probably going to be something that you had to survive tonight. So just try to take care of it, and I ran as hard as I had to. When Aaron and Garrett and Brian would get kind of close, I would try to run a little bit harder and keep them behind me, and just fend off their moves and put them in a bad spot if I could to help get them racing. But yeah, I don't know, I ran a lot of dirt stuff, so I'm pretty familiar with it.
We saw a little bit of contact when you lost the lead about midway through the race with the 60 of Matt Mormon. Was it just a matter of not seeing him out there against the wall, or what happened there?
No, I was going to turn underneath him, and then he started coming down the track, and we just kind of hit doors, and it was just enough for Aaron to get by. So that's just lap traffic. I probably should have ran in there in a different lane, but I didn't want to race him on the exit of the corner, because that's even worse. So probably a misjudgment on my part. Probably should have done a better job there.
Well, either way, it worked out in the end. You take the checkered flag here tonight at Eldora. We look forward now to North Wilkesboro Speedway, back on the pavement next week. What's your mindset rolling into Wilkesboro on that old racetrack?
Same thing. Just try to qualify good and stay out of trouble, and see if Brian and Aaron can race real hard for a while and burn their stuff up, and see if I can compete at the end.
Looking forward to it. TJ, congratulations, man. Who do you want to shout out to?
Just all them guys up front racing really clean. It's nice to be able to race with them and finish one off without getting run into the fence when you're leading the race. So it's a lot of fun when you can race with guys like that.
All right, TJ, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week at Wilkesboro.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
TJ Majors, your race winner here at Eldora Speedway. Job well done by the 6. Let's get a word with our runner-up, Garrett Johnston. He was fast. We saw this guy up there contending quite a bit here tonight. We'll get a word with him and see what he has to say. Garrett Johnston, Steve with Track Limits Network. You got us?
Hey, yes, sir, I do.
Garrett, congratulations, man. I mean, you started this thing in the 7th spot in the feature race. You showed pace. You saw it quite a bit here tonight. You weren't really in that top 2 a ton this evening, but man, when you got up into that 2nd spot, you had the opportunity. You were pushing hard. What was the difference maker here tonight? A, what makes you quick? And was there anything else you could have done to run down the 6?
Well, we were talking, and at the end there, it's just luck with me being in 4th and getting the outside there. You gave you the opportunity to kind of start up on that berm and get the good jump on the restart. So that was the difference maker in the end. I was fully content with being about 4th, which is where I probably deserve to be, but it's definitely right place and right time. But now I felt comfortable all night, never felt out of control, and I'm actually really happy we came here. I grew up racing dirt, so it was nice to come back for a change.
Well, I said at least once in the broadcast, I've been anti-dirt for a long time. I'm always trashing the dirt races, but I hate to admit it. This was a really fun one to call tonight. You guys put on a great show.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I bet everyone would boo me if I said it, but I wish we'd come to more dirt tracks. It's pretty nice. ARCA does a few, so we might as well do a few as well.
Dirt's for growing potatoes. Speaking of dirt, let's go to Wilkesboro next week where it's paved. Another short track race for you. I know you perform well on that type of speedway, but how do you prepare for that very unique racetrack North Wilkesboro?
Oh, it'll be a little different with the repave. I think they finally got that in, if I'm not mistaken. So just have to take it one thing at a time and kind of do like tonight. Maybe get in a little early and practice, which I usually tend to avoid, but I decided to take it serious tonight. So maybe that was my good luck to bring home second. So probably do the same.
Never hurts. Garrett, congratulations on a runner-up finish here tonight at Eldora Speedway. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, thank you, Steve, for doing the broadcast. It's always a great one. Thanks to Chris for putting the league on every week. It's always a lot of fun to see where it takes us. Shout out to everyone watching at home. Dad, mom, grandma, aunt, my wife, friends, etc. And we will hopefully be speaking to you next week.
Looking forward to it, Garrett. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck in Wilkesboro.
Thanks, sir.
Garrett Johnston, runner-up here at Eldora. Next, we're going to talk to the driver of the 3, Brian McCann. Started third, finished third. I guess you can't complain too much about it. We'll see what he has to say. Brian, it's Steve with Track Limits. You there?
Hey, Steve.
Brian, congratulations, man. Third place finish here on the dirt. Third place start as well. Kind of back and forth between third and fourth all night long with you and Aaron Smith. At the end of it, you win that battle. But walk us through your race. I know that this isn't necessarily in your wheelhouse of skill sets, but you still performed pretty well here. What was the game plan coming into tonight?
Game plan was turning right to go left, and we did a pretty good job with it. I made it up to second a few times, mostly because Aaron had some troubles there, and especially lap car situations, so that was pretty fun. But every time I got in second, a caution would immediately come out, and the bottom side was horrible on the restart, so I'd always lose some positions there. But when I was following TJ, there was a glimmer of hope one time. I had a pretty good run on him, and I was going to take it low and try to do a slide job on him, but sure enough, a caution came out at that time too. So, but overall, the race was fun. Coming out here, we turned a lot of green flag laps. A lot of people were, afraid of a lot of wrecks, but everybody did really well.
Well, job well done by yourself included. You weren't really able to hold off Garrett Johnston there at the end. Obviously, you restarted in the second spot, but he quickly got the jump. What was the difference maker there? Was it just timing?
That and I spun the tires, and he had that momentum. He was right up on that wall, and that, I forget what they call that, but he had the grip. So
I think they call it
I
a
thought
cushion.
about pulling. Yeah, that's it. And he had the grip, and I was going to move up, but then he had so much momentum, he would have hit me in the rear, and I don't know if I was going to spin if he hit me or what. So I just went ahead and dropped in behind him and took third.
Well, next week, North Wilkesboro Speedway back on the asphalt, a little bit more grip, and Garrett tells me I think that's the new layout, not new layout, but the new pavement I think they've got updated in iRacing. So do you have any laps at that place since an update?
I have not, but that's going to be interesting. I really like that track. I like the old track, so it'd be interesting to see how this new scan does.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Brian, congrats again. P3 here tonight. Who do you want to thank?
My family, you for doing the broadcast, amazing job. Sponsors for helping us out this season. And drivers showing up and having an amazing race here. And everybody watching, thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Good luck next week. Brian McCann, third place here at Eldora. He says this thanks there like he's got to think about it, but it's identical every time. He nails it. Spot on every week. That'll do it for the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. Let's get a look at our race results. Talked to our top three already. TJ Majors, Garrett Johnston, and Brian McCann. Aaron Smith finishes in the fourth position after a very strong run. Just didn't have quite enough pace to get clear of TJ Majors. Certainly fast, but wasn't able to get it done. Kevin McCann, in a rare appearance, shows up here, finishes in the fifth spot. Tim Schofield was sixth. Neil Quick finishes in the seventh spot. Brandon Mefford was eighth. Lilith Peters finished in the ninth spot. 10th was Kyle White. Adam Pettit, 11th. Chris Wally, after a frustrating heat race, got in late on the Consi, finishes 12th. 13th was Brent Butler after a win last week at Pocono. Christian Strader was 14th. Josh Funkhauser, 15th. Casey Bentz was 16th. Zachary Kleek, 17th. 18th went to James Pileski. Shane Haas was 19th. Chris Mefford finished in the 20th position. 21st went to Kyle Pendergraph. 22nd, Newt Quick. 23rd finisher was Todd Kleek. Mike Koch was 24th. Matt Mormond, 25th. Evan Janik finishes in the 26th spot. And last but not least, 36th of Josh Mears finishes out in the 27th position. Dirt racing, I think we're done with that for the season, but it was a fun one here tonight. Again, I I've said it a couple of times now. I talk a lot of trash about dirt racing. I'm kind of starting to second guess that because these ARCA cars put on a whale of a race here tonight. I've been to a couple of World of Outlaws and races over the years and some of the all-star races and things like that between Sharon Speedway and even Weed Sport. They've been a blast to watch, and I don't know, I might be converting at least a little bit to really start to enjoy this sort of thing. I hope you guys all out there watching the stream tonight enjoyed it as well. Obviously, I certainly did. Join us again next week here. We'll be back live on Track Limits Network at North Wilkesboro Speedway. No, it's not dirt, but it is a new surface, so we'll have to see how that plays out as far as the racing is concerned. That old wore-out version was pretty fun. Hopefully the fresh paved version is just as fun. It's going to do it for me. Congratulations again to TJ Majors picking up the win here tonight at Eldora. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you at the next one.